Hey Botanical Bliss family, welcome back to the channel where we share tips and tricks to make your garden thrive. In this video, we're diving into everything you need to know about growing broad beans. They're nutritious, versatile, and surprisingly easy to grow, making them an excellent addition to any backyard garden. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more gardening inspiration and updates. Broad beans, also known as fava beans, are a staple in many home gardens for good reason. They're rich in protein, easy to care for, and can improve soil health by fixing nitrogen. Let's jump into the key steps to grow these backyard stars successfully. Broad beans come in several varieties, so it's important to choose one that suits your climate and growing season. Popular types include Aqua Dulce Claudia for winter planting and Masterpiece Green Long Pod for spring planting. Winter varieties are hardy and can withstand frost, while spring varieties flourish in warmer conditions. Timing is crucial when growing broad beans. For winter planting, sow seeds in the fall, about 6 to 8 weeks before the first frost. If you prefer spring planting, aim to sow as soon as the soil is workable, typically in early spring. Broad beans thrive in cool weather, so avoid planting during hot summer months. Broad beans prefer well-drained fertile soil with a neutral to slightly alkaline pH. Before planting, test your soil's pH level to ensure it's between 6.0 and 7.5. If the soil is too acidic, amend it with garden lime to create a more hospitable environment. Start by clearing the planting area of weeds and debris. Then, loosen the soil to a depth of 12 inches, and work in plenty of organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure. This will improve soil structure and provide the beans with the nutrients they need to grow strong and healthy. Once your soil is ready, it's time to plant your seeds. Broad beans can be sown directly into the ground or started in pots if you prefer to transplant them later. To plant directly, dig holes about 2 inches deep and space them 6 to 8 inches apart in rows that are at least 18 inches apart. Drop one seed into each hole and cover it with soil, gently pressing down to ensure good contact. If starting seeds in pots, use small containers filled with seed compost. Plant the seeds 2 inches deep and keep the soil moist. Once the seedlings are about 3 to 4 inches tall, harden them off by gradually exposing them to outdoor conditions before transplanting them into the garden. Broad beans are relatively low maintenance when it comes to watering. During the early stages of growth, keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. As the plants mature, they become more drought tolerant but still benefit from regular watering, especially during dry spells and while they're flowering and setting pods. Fertilization is also key to a good harvest. Broad beans are legumes and can fix nitrogen from the atmosphere, but they still appreciate an initial boost. Use a balanced fertilizer when preparing the soil and a potassium-rich feed during flowering to encourage pod development. Avoid over-fertilizing with nitrogen-rich products, as this can lead to excessive foliage growth at the expense of beans. Broad bean plants can grow tall and may require support to stay upright, especially in windy conditions. Use stakes, bamboo canes, or a trellis to keep the plants from toppling over. Place stakes along the row and run string or garden twine horizontally to provide support. As the plants grow, you can add more levels of string to accommodate their height. Supporting the plants not only prevents damage but also improves air circulation, reducing the risk of diseases like mildew and rust. Broad beans rely on pollinators such as bees to set fruit, so attracting these helpful insects to your garden is important. Plant flowers like marigolds or lavender nearby to encourage pollination. If pollination seems slow, you can give nature a hand by gently shaking the plants to help distribute pollen. You'll know your broad beans are ready to harvest when the pods are plump and firm. For the best flavor, pick the pods while the beans inside are still young and tender. Use a sharp knife or scissors to cut the pods from the plant, taking care not to damage the stems. While broad beans are generally resilient, they can fall prey to pests like aphids and diseases like chocolate spot or powdery mildew. To keep your plants healthy, inspect them regularly and act quickly if you notice any issues. For aphids, spray the plants with a strong jet of water or use insecticidal soap. To prevent diseases, maintain good garden hygiene by removing infected leaves and ensuring proper spacing for good air circulation. Crop rotation can also help reduce the risk of soil-borne diseases. Growing broad beans in your backyard is a simple yet rewarding experience. By choosing the right variety, preparing your soil, and providing consistent care, you'll be rewarded with a delicious and nutritious harvest. Not only will you enjoy the fresh taste of homegrown broad beans, but you'll also be giving back to your garden by improving soil health. Thanks for tuning in, Botanical Bliss family. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video and share your gardening adventures in the comments below. Happy gardening and see you in the next video.